So you create your space. And this goes for anybody at all. It doesn't matter if you are pagan, it doesn't matter if you're heathen, it doesn't matter if you're Mormon, Christian, whatever the case might be. Everybody's entitled to their sacred space. Hi Phoenix family, tonight's video is going to be on a sacred space. Before we get started on that, I was asked to do a video on circle casting, and I need to disclose with you the reason why I don't do circle casting or teach it is because it's not something I personally use in my own craft. I'm more than happy to explain that. Circle casting and what you see in a lot of these books or maybe in your Google search is a Wiccan practice. I am Celtic Druid. Okay, yes, I do practice witchcraft. Yes, I do practice druidry on the Celtic side. And I also practice spirituality on the Native American side. I do not practice Wiccan. Okay, so because of that, what you understand to be circle casting, primarily either learning about Wiccan or such in TV shows, it's not a part of my path. So it's not something I do. It's not something I feel that I can appropriately teach you. Okay? I am more than happy to explain to you a sacred space, though, because sacred space is something that I definitely use, and in part of that, I do create a circle depending on where I'm working at. Right here, I'm showing you a picture of my divination tools. Okay, because I am big into divination. I love divination. I have my Ouija board. I have my poker cards, cardomancy. I have my divining rod, some feathers. I have some Halloween oracles. I have my dice. I have a finger wand up there. I have a dream catcher, pendulum. Let's see, I have some candles, a fan. All of these are divination tools, and that's only a piece. That's only a small part of them, okay? But that is all me. Your sacred space is going to be all about you. What is it that you do? What is it that you're into? And it doesn't even have to be pagan necessarily. It's just things that you like, things that you are attracted to, things that you put into your life. If you're somebody that likes to, I don't know, read a lot of books, maybe make your sacred space with some of your favorite books. If you are a kind of person that likes to make jewelry, maybe put some stuff on your sacred space that includes part of that hobby of making jewelry. Winemaking, I mean, I don't know, but if it's something that you're interested in or that you do, excuse me, maybe put up a couple of wine glasses. Your sacred space is about you, who you are, and what you're into, what makes you happy, okay? So you create your space. And this goes for anybody at all. It doesn't matter if you are pagan, it doesn't matter if you're heathen, it doesn't matter if you're Mormon, Christian, whatever the case might be. Everybody's entitled to their sacred space. Okay, your sacred space is about you. But for this part, we're going to say that we're working in the craft, okay? For those that like to do spell work or any kind of ritualistic work or chanting. All right, so your sacred space, it needs to be cleansed. And if you're any if you're anything like me, you don't cleanse it every day because there's no reason to. That is your space. Nobody else goes in there. Nobody else messes with your stuff, except for maybe your familiars, and that's fine because they're your familiars or your pets. Okay? But as for other people, they don't touch it. They don't go near it. They don't mess with it. There's no reason to always cleanse it. Your energy and your space is you. So it's okay not to cleanse it all the time. Alright? But let's say I want to do spell work somewhere else. I've been called out to somebody else's house, and we're going to do some spell work or chanting together. Now I create a circle because I need to create a space for me to work in that's cleansed for my energy, for my work. Okay? If I am working with more than just myself, there's a coven of us, anywhere between 3 and, 10 people together, then we're going to create the circle with our bodies, because we're going to take hands or, shoulder to shoulder, and we're going to use our bodies to create a circle. This is our own personal energy, and anything inside that circle is us. That becomes our sacred space, because we are closing hands, we are closing it. We are putting it together so that we can work together, putting all of us, Wendy coming from this side, I'm coming from this side, Matt's coming from this side. Anything that we project goes inside this sacred space. Okay? That is a group circle. For an individual, I'm going to somebody's house, and maybe I'm going to do a cleansing for them, or maybe, I don't know, I've been invited over to see what kind of spiritual activity they have in the house. And to get a better feel for the home, I kind of want to do a little cleansing for myself. I don't want to attach the house to me, but I want to put my energy into the house. Okay, now on this point, I have my salt, and I will start facing forward, okay? And I will start my salt, pouring it and going all the way around, turning completely around, creating a circle until I am facing forward again. This is my space now that I'm creating to do my work, whatever it might be. It can be as small as just as much room as you need to stand in, or spread it out for as far as you need. Okay? Now, to add to that, if I am in that position where I am away from my sacred space, I am not working with a circle of people, but by myself in a new place, the salt is the first part that I do to close myself into the circle. I'm taking this space, okay? But it is still not cleansed. It is somewhere else that I'm not used to working in. So these right here, sage sticks, you can find them in most metaphysical shops. It's not the same as the like the dried leaves or plants. Okay, this is basically sage that's already been burnt. It's mixed with a little bit of wax and a little bit of charcoal to hold it together. And while I am in my circle of salt, I will burn this. I will light it and burn it, because it burns fairly quickly, and it takes that space that I have made within the salt, my sacred space. It is now sacred, and it is cleansed, and whatever I do in that space, it's open for me, okay, for my energy and whatever I want to project outward or pull in to me, all right? When I am done working in that space, okay, this circle is now open. I just use my foot, open up the salt a little bit, and then walk through it. Some people, I have seen them step over it, and I guess that's fine. It's entirely up to you. I just feel that it's not quite right, because when I put myself into that position and I create the circle around me, then it needs to be reopened so that I can walk out. Okay? So that's what I do for my spell work, and that's how I create a circle when a circle is needed. Otherwise, I do not create a circle. In my home, I just have a sacred space like you see right here on the screen. This is my divination tools. This is what I do. I work in divination of all kinds. I even wrote a book, The Basics of Divination. Okay, so with that, here's my space. Here's where you will find me doing my work. A circle casting is not needed. It's just not. I have no reason for it. All right? Another one that we do at times for myself and my daughter, if I feel like a cleansing is needed, say between the two of us, you know, she's maybe having a hard time, I'm having a hard time, we're not near her sacred space, we're not necessarily near mine either, but we just kind of need to have that little space where we can bring our energy back together for whatever reason. We don't normally fight or anything, just sometimes life just gets us down, or anxiety, whatever. So we kind of need each other to pull in, okay? So in that case, then I take her in my arms and I'm holding her and I picture the dome. That's the best way I can explain it. And so I picture the two of us together and I imagine the circle creating on its own around us. I can see it in my mind, the circle creating around us, and then it comes up. Like, imagine like a blue light. All right, that's the best way I like to focus on it. I like to imagine it like that. And the blue light starts from that circle and it works its way up until it's around us and it closes us in. This is the dome. And we're doing this, we're creating this together because she's picturing it, I'm picturing it. And how this works mentally and physically is I am telling her, you know, the circle is surrounding us. The dome grows from the ground up. It's covering our feet, now our ankles and our knees, our hips. It's coming up over our waist until I get it up over our head. Now, so while we're standing there, we're holding on, and this dome is building. We are building like a protection around each other. We are building a closure to bring our magic, our love, our relationship as mother and daughter tightly together. Okay, and we do that sometimes just to work with grounding, even, or just to feel that closeness for a minute, because sometimes life in general can make you feel like, ah. So sometimes a little exercise like that with another person, it helps you to renew that magic and that relationship, and just kind of, we got you, we got, you know, we got each other, we got this, and then close it. For that one, when we feel like opening it back up, we do it in reverse. Okay, so now the dome is opening back up, it is falling down, and then we picture the circle opening up so that we can walk out of it. And that's it. It's done. We've had our few minutes. We've created this, you know, the bond is already there, but we tightened it back up, and then we're good. We're all set. So if you have any questions about how to create a sacred space, like if you have ideas or anything like that, then please put it in the comments. If you have any questions or what kinds of things would work for you, please put it in the questions. If you have an idea of somebody else, like we want to put a part of your sister in your sacred space and you're curious about certain items, please put that in the questions too. I'm very open to discussing any of that with you. Okay, so like I said, I don't really do circle casting in the way that it is seen in Hollywood or what you learn about in Wicca, but I think I pretty much covered what I do in creating a sacred space. So I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video tonight. Please like and share everywhere and subscribe. I love you all so much. Thank you. Mwah. Y'all have a great night.